Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this Madden 22 defensive tips video breakdown, I want to take a look at quick A-gap pressure versus gun 5-wide formations. And what we're going to go ahead and show you is how to go ahead and get some A-gap pressure. And the beautiful thing about the setup I'm about to show, it's only going to be a 4-man pass rush, which makes it pretty darn effective as far as attacking 5-wide formations. Now, you can also use this setup versus, say, gun 4-wide, gun bunch, whatever, providing that everybody's going out, then it's going to work. Now, there are some other setups you can use with the same, at least the same concept here, where if the running back were to stay in the pass block, for example, the gun bunch, where they were to stay in the pass block, you could still get pressure using the same concept. And we'll talk about that in another video breakdown. For now, I just want to go ahead and focus in on the 5-wide formations. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. And the play that we're going to use for this video breakdown happens to be out of the 3-4 Cub. And the name of the play is called Cover 4 Quarters. And you got 3 defensive linemen, 4 linebackers, 4 defensive backs. The coverage type is zoned. The coverage shell is cover 4. Blitz type, since we're only rushing 4, we don't have an actual blitz. The gap pressure, again, because we're not rushing anybody as an extra pass rusher, then it's just going to go ahead and be no gap pressure. And with that, guys, with that said, let me just say this: when you only got a 4-man pass rush, I don't consider that a blitz. I mean, if you're running a say a 4-3 defense, that wouldn't become, you got 4 guys rushing the quarterback, all 4 defensive linemen, that wouldn't be considered a blitz. So I'm not going to consider that a blitz, at least with this. But at any rate, the pass rushers are 4, and then the pass defenders are 7. So let's go ahead and look at the playbooks you'll find this particular play out of, and it's going to be out of these playbooks here. For this breakdown, we're going to go ahead and use the 3-4 playbook. So let's go ahead and get right on into the field here. And what I'm going to show you is the play here right here in a second here. And we're gonna go ahead and use the Cowboys on the defensive side of the ball. We're gonna use the Washington team on the offensive side of the ball. So one of the things I do want to point out here as you're looking at the screen here is with the coaching adjustments, I didn't make anything on that, but I did do the outside linebacker flip as far as the packages. So I didn't make any coaching adjustments for this one. However, if you want to, you can, mess around with that to whatever your liking is. But for the packages, I do have the outside linebacker flip. The main reason for that, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of highlight this a little bit for you guys, is one of the things I wanted to make sure that I had with this is with Parsons, who's lined up right here. I wanted to make sure that he's lined up at the right outside linebacker. The only reason is because he's the linebacker that's blitzing, and I think that he can use his pass rush abilities to maybe possibly add some extra pressure outside of what I'm going to get pressure from the nose tackle. So just keep that in mind if you've got a team that has a really good linebacker that can rush the quarterback. So make sure you guys do that. Now, the only other thing I want to do is I'm going to go into the subs here, at least on this particular formation, is I went ahead and subbed out the nose tackle here by default, and I went ahead and put in, I'm just going to go ahead and show him to you. This is going to be this guy right here, which is Terrell Basham. Now, he is lined up at the nose tackle spot. Now, of course, he is a left end, but he has a speed rating of 82, which makes him extremely fast as far as getting to the quarterback. For me, on my team, he's one of the faster defensive linemen, so that's the reason I put him there. So if you got a fast defensive end that you're not using, or someone you might want to use, maybe you've got an X factor or a star player and you want to throw him in there, that's fine too. I'm just going to go with him at the nose tackle spot. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and get onto the field here in a second here. And as I mentioned, I'm using this cover 4 quarters play, and I'm going to go ahead and flip it at the play call screen. Now, I do not have auto flip on. I have it turned off. That's my preference. I know some of you other guys might want to have it on. That's fine. But for this to work, you need to do what I'm doing here and have it flipped where the left outside linebacker is blitzing from the right side of the offensive line. All right, from the offensive side of the ball, we're going to use the Washington's playbook. As I've already mentioned, we're going to use the gun empty bunch. And the play that we'll go with for this breakdown is the verticals, as you see on your screen there. All right, the setup here is really, really simple, guys. It does not take hardly anything at all to do this. It's so darn quick, it's crazy. So what you're going to do here is, I want you guys to notice these guys right here, these 2 safeties. Now, you'll notice that they're lined up pretty far off the line of scrimmage in their normal position. if you do this, now this is going to be what I'm going to call a pro tip here. And what this is going to do when you do this, it's actually going to bring these guys closer to the line of scrimmage without having to do it. We'll actually have to manually move them. All you got to do is spread the defensive line. And there you go. There's your two safeties moving down in the box, which is nice because they get closer to the line of scrimmage to cover any kind of quick pass that your opponent might try to throw. For example, say he tries to throw a quick pass here. Well, guess what? This safety is now in position to take that away because he's already up near the line of scrimmage. So this guy's probably not going to be open for a quick pass. And that's the nice thing about that. Same thing here. Maybe the tight end's running a quick, maybe the tight end's going to run a seam route or something like that. Again, the tight end's lined up here. This safety's in position to take that away. Now, there's not a whole lot you can do with that because they're there. You can't just throw a quick pass. So that's one of the things I like about this one. All you got to do is just, go ahead and spread the defensive line out and you got it. The only other adjustments you really got to make is to take control of the nose tackle, which I'm already in control of right here. And you're simply just going to go ahead and put him in QB spy. And then you're going to go ahead and slide him over one notch to the left. Now that's optional. I prefer to do that. You don't have to do it, but I prefer because I think it makes it a little bit better as far as getting this pressure. Now what's going to happen next is once the ball is snapped, this center right here is going to block towards the right side. And the reason he's going to block towards the right side is he's going to try to help those other two offensive linemen out to go ahead and block these pass rushers that we got coming off this side. He almost always goes to the right side with this setup that I'm about to show. Almost always goes towards the right side. And that's the key there. If he does that, then you got it. If he doesn't, then you're not going to get the pressure, but then you can just drop that guy back and kind of just, go ahead and drop back over the middle and take away any of the short middle stuff, which is fine too. All right, so that's the setup, guys. That's really it. So let's go ahead and run this, and I'm going to show you how it works. Now, on occasion, I might get caught. Sometimes the center will come back. Maybe even the left tackle or left guard might block me. But most of the time, I'm able to get in here against 5 wide formations. There you go right here. And there's the pressure as I come up the gap and get pressure on the quarterback. And again, it's pretty consistent as far as bringing that pressure. Let's go ahead and do it again in real quick time this time so I can show you really how quick this one is. So all you got to do with this setup as we watch on the screen is him getting pressure coming up the gut there and getting that A-gap pressure. Really, with this setup, and you're going to see when I show you the coverages when we go back in instant replay after this. I want to go ahead and get into that in a second here. But let's go back and do the setup one more time. So we're going to go ahead and flip the play. Go ahead and call this verticals play. You're going to go ahead and spread the defensive line. Those guys come up into the box. You simply move this guy over one notch to the right. Once the ball snapped, you watch this guy go in there, and I got caught up that time. And if I get caught up, you can still shake him like that and still get that pressure. But, like I said, or you can drop him back. Let's do the same setup again. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Go ahead and move him over and then do this. And there's the setup right there, guys. And then you're just going to come right up through the gut and gap and get pressure on the quarterback. So that's what I'm showing on the screen there. So that's what makes this one such an effective defense, because you get the A-gap pressure and yet you get some nice coverages. And you're going to see that here as I go in instant replay. So as I pointed out earlier, the key here is to watch this guy right here, this center. If he blocks right, in most cases he will, such as you see on your screen, as soon as he goes towards the right side, and then at this point, you can go ahead and rush your nose tackle, come right up the gut and get pressure on the quarterback, such as what I'm showing on the screen there, and whack. We get the pressure on the quarterback. And then if you look, let's zoom out here. Look at the coverages. They're pretty tight. The one guy that he might be able to hit against this particular defense I'm showing with this particular play, he might find that guy open for a quick pass there on occasion. He might be able to get it over there. But that's really it. And that's going to be the tight end. He may be able to get him and throw that pass, possibly. That's really the only option. But as you get deeper down the field here, there really ain't nothing for him to throw to. I mean, everybody's pretty much covered as you look at your screen here. There's not a whole lot for him to throw over here. He's not going to hit this here. Anywhere of these places I'm showing this right there, he's not going to find any of those guys open. So they're all covered. So pretty nice defense as far as bringing on the pressure on the quarterback. Now, I do want to do one last thing here. Just to continue on with this setup real quick. Let's go back into the play here. And then I'm going to go ahead and close this out real quick. Go back into that cover 4. And then let's go back into the formation again with this one. And we'll go back into the verticals. All right. The only other thing I did want to talk about, the one other thing you can do with the setup, you want to add some more to it. Again, we're going to go ahead and do this right here. It's basically the thing I've been talking about. If you wanted to, you could go ahead and put those guys in QB contain. Now, I'll tell you, it doesn't work quite as effective, in my opinion, as doing this, but if you're worried about your opponent, you know, maybe they're going to roll the quarterback out, and, you know, he's going to try to roll over this direction here or wherever, or maybe go this direction here. If you want to put those guys in QB contain, you can do it. By all means, try it and see what it does for you. I don't know if it's quite as effective as what I showed initially in the setup. Let's go ahead and just run it one more time here, and we'll see what the guard does there. See, I still got by him, or not the guard, but the center, but he's still kind of was a little bit more closer for my comfort. But I still got the pressure on the quarterback, which is great. So I just want to point that out to you guys. You can do it that way if you so choose. Just be more aware that that center may not block towards the right side, is what I was showing earlier, if you don't put him in QB contain. If you put him in QB contain, there's a chance that he may block you because he won't kind of block towards the right side like we want him to. But anyway, guys, that's it for this setup. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Certainly one that can certainly bring some pressure on the quarterback. Very, very simple setup that definitely can cause some problems for the 5-wide formations, because you are able to get inside heat, A-gap heat, with only a 4-man pass rush, which is nice. Hey Madden gamers, if you enjoy this Madden video or any other video, please subscribe to the Madden Guides YouTube channel. And as always, thanks for watching and for your support.